Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to bring you another off-season video. In this video, I give you my college football playoff prediction, my national title preview. I'm going to give you the CFP bracket. I'm going to give you who I think is going to win the national title, and I'm going to give you on who I believe has value in futures bets, other than obviously my national title pick. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First, let's look at the first half of the bracket. I have, as you can see, I think Penn State is going to get the 1 seed. I've talked about Penn State in the Big Ten preview. I think this is their year. I don't necessarily like a lot of their players, but I recognize and respect the fact that they are veteran players who came back for another year. They do have talent, so I'm not discounting their talent. They did lose their defensive coordinator, but they replaced him with an equally good defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles, who just won the national championship last year with Ohio State. Again, veteran roster with a lot of talent. Coach Franklin has to finally get it done, right? So I have them as my 1 seed, 4 seed. I never talk about Notre Dame, but I think Notre Dame has an elite level defense that's going to get them back into the college football playoff. It all depends on what they do at quarterback. We know that, but they also have running back Jeremiah Love. I think he is probably the second best overall player in America, or at least second best offensive player in America behind Smitty at Ohio State. Outstanding running back. So this is how things are going to break down. Penn State, Notre Dame get the byes. This is the 1 and the 4 seed. I talked about the Gators. I think they're going to navigate that tough schedule. I think there's a lot of talent on that team, both offensively and defensively, and they're great at the line of scrimmage. Veteran O-line, veteran D-line with some big-time future NFL first-round draft pick types on that defensive line. Georgia, I talked about Georgia having issues this year. I think they're dropping 3 games. But I recognize and respect the fact that I think they're going to have some big wins on their schedule. I think that 9-3 is going to look a lot prettier than 10-2 or 11-1 will in some other conferences, and I think the committee's going to respect that. Oregon, cake schedule, but they're going to go breeze through it. I think Oregon's probably going to go 11-1 this year. And I don't really do mid-majors on here. I just don't think Boise's going to get back to the college football playoff with Ashton Jandy. Navy had a good team last season. They bring back a lot of players from that good team. I got them getting the 12th seed, but again, I don't do mid-majors, so that's kind of irrelevant to me. You got to pick a group of 5 team, right? So that is what it is. So that's how I think one half of the bracket is going to play out. This is how I think the other half of the bracket plays out. So I think Texas is going to win the SEC and get the 2 seed. Clemson is going to probably waltz through the ACC and get the 3 seed. Ohio State. I got Ohio State at 10. I got Ohio State barely getting in. Again, there's so much roster turnover on the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes got one of the highest odds to win the national championship this year. I think they have the highest. That's insane to me. They have the highest odds to win the Big Ten. That's also insane to me. You don't have that much roster turnover and then, repeat as national? No way. That's not going to happen. I got Ohio State going, barely getting in, going 1 and done, losing to Bama, who's got the best defense in the SEC. I have Kansas State winning the Big 12, so I have Kansas State in there, but I think LSU is going to go ahead and breeze past them. LSU has one of the most explosive offenses in the country with Garrett Nussmeier, outstanding receivers, Caden Durham at running back, and then Brian Kelly does no offense. Defense has been their issue. I think they have 2 good edge rushers they got out the portal. I think the secondary, which took a step forward last year, takes another step forward this year and starts to actually look credible. Clemson. I got Clemson. I think Clemson might go 12-0. Man, it's not going to be a respected 12-0, so I get them getting the 3 seed. But I think Clemson has 1 and done written all over them. I'm going to stand out on this ledger by myself. It is what it is. Cade Klubnik, I think, is a decent quarterback, but he is not what people out there think, in my opinion. People thought Charlie Whitehurst was that dude, too. I'm just saying. So I think Clemson's going 1 and done. I think they got 1 and done written all over them. I think they get this far because they made a great hire defensive coordinator, getting Tom Allen from Penn State. They have great defensive players at every level of the defense. Offensively, they've got some really good receivers. Again, they have a veteran offensive line. And again, Cade Klubnik, I think, is a decent quarterback. And tissue soft schedule outside of the opener against LSU, I think they're going to breeze through that. Again, I think they're going to breeze through the ACC. But, yeah, they got 1 and done written all over them, in my opinion. So then I have Texas taking on LSU on that side of the bracket. And then, finally, for my Final Four, let's go ahead and take a look at the entire bracket here. So this is what the whole bracket looks like. And then getting into the Final Four, I think you're looking at Texas winning the national championship. I think they're going to play against Penn State. I think Texas beats Penn State in the national championship. When I did this bet last year, I had 3 futures bets that I felt pretty confident in. Ohio State, I actually did 2 futures on. Georgia made it to the quarterfinals, and Texas made it to the semifinals. This year, I really only feel confident in Texas. Texas is the only future that I'm going to put some serious dollars down on. They're coming in at plus 550. They're preseason #1, so it's not like I'm going out on a limb here. But they're the only team that I feel confident put some money down. If you want to put a few dollars down on somebody else, I would say Penn State at plus 700. Again, veteran team. I don't like Drew Aller in big spots in big games. But these guys came back. They came back for a reason. They got talent. Coach Franklin finally has to get over the hump at some point. This could be that year. So if you want to put some dollars down on Penn State, and I understand that plus 700, that's not bad. But Texas is the only team I'm putting any real cash down on. And this, again, they're preseason #1 for a reason. I don't think I'm going out on a limb on this one. So anyway, that wraps it up. If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe. I want to put you guys, or if you're new to the channel, put you on notice. What I do is I'll make weekly bets on college and NFL on this channel. And I track my bets. I do strictly ATS. I don't do anything straight up. So it's straight ATS picks. If you want to know how I perform, again, I track it. I put it up here on my YouTube channel so you can see how I performed throughout the year. Last season in college football, I finished 59% ATS accuracy. Some people are going to probably say that's pretty good. My goal is always 60%. The pros, they're roughly between 53 and 55%, which is pretty damn good, but obviously 59, I outplayed them last season on that. And then I also do NFL. NFL last season, I had a horrible start, 6-16 to start, but then I finished 54% ATS accuracy. So I responded in the NFL. Again, the goal is always 60%. So you guys are going to see these. I'll do videos throughout the week, both college and NFL, as the football season progresses. So you guys, if you want to tell me, if you want to hear my breakdown on the game, and just to maybe if you want to see what the spreads are, odds, I don't do every game, but just the games that I like. So feel free to tune in and check those out. But anyways, that's it. Take care.